so many familiar faces here and some new guests, so just wanted to kick off today's festivities and welcome all of you. My name is Amanda. I'm the Chief Giving Officer for MileOne Cares. I want to tell you a little bit about our philanthropic program and a little bit about what we'll get this going and give away some cars, which is why we're all here today. So many of you know this, but I can't help but remind us all that MileOne Auto Group really feels very strongly about philanthropy and it's part of our mission and values. MileOne Cares, our philanthropic program, is committed to creating meaningful partnerships with those who are making lives better. And this is one of those days. We focus our efforts in areas of access to safe transportation, and today's event and our partnership with Vehicles for Change is just one example of the many ways that MileOne partners with nonprofits. Our work expands beyond vehicle donations, providing car seats to families, which we did yesterday, and I have to say, shout out Maggie's right there, she helps me from DriveSmart. We gave away 220 car seats yesterday, which was the most we've done in one day. And we also did that work about our partners for Safe Kids and Early Kids and Safety Seats who are here today as well. And they helped get free families who are receiving cars today, brand new car seats. So that's a really important program for us. We do this every month, and from here, and so our next event is in early December, and by the end of 2025, we plan on distributing about 3,000 car seats, so it's pretty incredible. Also by the end of 2025, we will donate over $3 million back into the communities, and we are honored to do this work for our community, and we are glad to be here today to witness our impact, and we're glad to be here as well. Today we're here to recognize veterans and honor Veterans Day, and so we want to thank you for your service. I'd also like to acknowledge some of our elected officials and dignitaries who took time out of their busy day to be here with us today. We have Senator Shelley Heddleman, thank you for being here. We have Delegate Mike Rogers, thank you as well. Rachel Parker, who's the Executive Director of the Governor's Workforce and Development Board. Not sure where Rachel is. Thank you, hi Rachel, thank you. As well as the Secretary of MileOne Cares, Ed Rothstein, who will be speaking a little bit later. So thank you all for being here. So to start off our festivities, I would like to invite Corporal William Posey to the stage to sing our national anthem. Corporal Posey has been a Maryland State Trooper for 19 years and is currently the supervisor for the Criminal Investigation Division. He has been around music his entire life and has performed with the Kennedy Figure several times. He plays drums and he also leads the youth praise and worship team for his home church. So thank you, Corporal Posey, for being here. Oh, there you go.
of thousands of people. MileOne has now donated over 230 vehicles to this organization, and we've hired to date 33 automotive technicians from Vehicle for Change's Full Circle Training Program, which is a re-entry program for justice-involved and unemployed individuals. Together, this partnership is about changing lives, and we believe access to reliable transportation is truly transformative. We wouldn't be able to do today's program without the generosity of both Debt Wizard and Excite. Both companies donated their time, their expertise in reconditioning all these cars that you see here today. Debt Wizard was also kind enough to provide lunch for everyone today. Before we announce the recipients of today's vehicles, the reason why we're really here today, and the most exciting part of the program, I'd like to ask Marty Schwartz. Marty's the founder and president of Vehicles for Change, just to tell us a bit more about the organization. Marty? Thank you.
Thank you all for being here today. We've been doing this now together for 7 or 8 years at MileOne. First off, I want to talk a little bit about how important it is to be able to provide cars to families. We've provided over 8,200 cars to families since 1999. And I'm sure that all of you got here today by driving your car. And over the weekend, you probably went out to dinner. Maybe you took your kids to an athletic event. Or maybe you just went to the grocery store. And you can't do those kinds of things in our society unless you have a car. And when you leave here, you're going to go to work. And you're going to drive to work. And without a car, without transportation, we have locked people in Maryland and in our country in generational poverty for years. And until we solve the transportation issue, we are not going to solve generational poverty. These 10 cars are going to make an enormous difference in the lives of the individuals who are going to get these cars today. Now, it's really a kind of cool double-edged sword that we have today. It is awesome that we're able to provide these 10 cars to 10 individuals who served our country. But it's kind of sad in a way that we have a country, that we have individuals who have served our country and yet still live in poverty. So we have to look at what we do as a country and how we take care of the people who take care of us, right? Because not only, and you're going to hear from Ed Rothstein, I know Ed was at Fort Meade for a number of years in a good friend of mine. We have people who are in the military, who live below the poverty. That is unacceptable in this country. And so we are excited to be able to help these 10 veterans who are going to get cars from us today in this partnership with MileOne and with the folks that have really supported this program, because the other key part of this today is that these individuals are going to pay for their car. This is not a handout, it's a handout. And we couldn't do that without our partner, Hartford Bank, who is going to provide the loans for these individuals. So while they pay for their car, they're going to establish credit, right? And they're going to have the opportunity to pay for their car over time. So we want to thank all of our partners, again, MileOne and Hartford Bank, and those individuals in our training program who helped get these cars ready today. I also want to just mention that we also have a virtual reality auto technician training program that we are now training people in more than 7 states across the country, in prisons, in jails, in juvenile justice programs, in high schools, and actually in some dealerships, right? Because my understanding is from NADA that they're looking at somewhere around 600,000 individuals that are going to be needed in this field in just the next 5 years. And so we want to make sure that the people who are not serving this country have the opportunity to fill those positions and really make a better life for themselves and their families. So again, thank you all for being here today. This is really one of the most exciting days that we get to do. A special day for me today since my family is here. So I'm excited to have them as current military and veterans, and they'll be handing keys over today. I'll introduce them a little later. But with that, I'd
And tomorrow being Veterans Day, it's not a day of flagpoles and memorials, it's a day of action. And that is exactly what's happening here today. It is a day of action because the leadership that party shows. And one thing he never says is I. It's all about we and us and partnership. And MileOne and Vehicles for Change and Heritage Toyota and all the sponsors that are here are working together for a common purpose. And that is to provide those deserving a vehicle. This is a glorious day. I don't expect anyone to remember the words that we say today, but I'd like you to have a feel for what's being said. Walk away with an emotion. Walk away saying, I want to serve. I want this to be a day of action. Veterans Day is a day of action to say thank you. And then as a veteran, I turn and say thank you for giving me a reason to serve. Because we live in such an awesome community. Bottom line, again, it's about partnership, it's about community, it's about not a hand out, but a hand up, and all of us working together. Thank you so much for allowing me to share a few words, and as always, life is good. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Rothstein. Thank you for joining us tonight. Giving back to the community is core to MileOne Cares. Donating cars today and transforming lives through our partnership with Vehicles for Change. In the past 9 years, we've donated vehicles to veterans, frontline workers, single parents, families, and medical professionals. Today, we continue the tradition. In honor of Veterans Day, 10 local individuals will be given the freedom of mornings to get to their jobs, get doctor's appointments, grocery stores, children's schools, activities, and so much more. Having reliable transportation will allow them to travel on their own schedules, therefore allowing them more time to spend with their families. Our recipients today are all hard-working people whose lives are impacted by their lack of access to transportation. Heritage is pleased to provide each one of them with a vehicle so they can now spend less time commuting and more time enjoying family and friends. Today is a reminder of the potential that all of us have to make an impact in our communities. We're doing our part with our connection to Vehicles for Change. At this time, I would like to ask U.S. Marine Corps veteran Daniel Whitaker, one of today's recipients, to come to the podium and tell us more about his journey and what this award will mean to him.
Morning. Thank you for the opportunity to share my story with you. First off, I do have to say, being a Marine, I do have to say today is the 250th birthday of the United States Marine Corps. So to all my fellow Marines out there, happy birthday to Rob, December 5. I'd also like to say thank you to the SHEP organization, which is the organization where I'm currently living that houses homeless veterans. If it wasn't for them, I would have gotten in touch with Vehicles for Change, and they played a huge part in getting me to this point where I am today, so thank you, SHEP. Ever since my divorce over 4 years ago, my life has changed dramatically. At first, I truly believed things were going to be okay, that my kids would continue to have their father in their lives, but as time went on, things began to change. I was suddenly told by my ex that I was no longer allowed to see or even speak to my children. My world changed overnight. Not long after that, I was hit with another devastating blow. I found out that my ex had moved away and taken my children to a place that's 4 hours from here. Because of paying child support and alimony out of every single paycheck, I eventually lost the car that I simply couldn't afford the payments anymore. That was over 3 years ago, and I've been without a vehicle ever since. Without transportation, I couldn't make that 4-hour trip to see my children. They've been living there without their father, and I have been here without them. Distance, both physically and emotionally, has caused me great pain over the years. I kept asking myself when or how I would ever be able to make that trip to see my kids again. Well, I can finally say that today I have the answer to that question. And that answer is here right now, receiving this vehicle from two incredible organizations, Vehicles for Change and MileOne Cares. This vehicle is one important piece of the puzzle in getting my life back together. I think I can speak for everybody here today when I say how truly wonderful it is that Vehicles for Change and MileOne Cares are changing lives and giving veterans like me a reason to smile. To everyone who made this moment possible, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Daniel, thank you for sharing your story. There's no words I can say that sum up better than why we're here and why we do this. And, we've heard similar stories over the past 10 years that we've been doing this. And Marty turned to me and said, "Man, this is why we're doing what we're doing." I couldn't say it any better. So thank you for your honesty and how tough it's probably been. And appreciate you sharing your story with everybody here. So, all right, well, now the part we've all been waiting for. We're going to get to the vehicle awards. So I would ask that each of the award recipients go to their cars and the key handlers, and we will introduce with 10 veterans, 10 recipients, 10 cars to give away, and this is the fun part. I'm going to do 5, and Marty's going to do 5. All right. Our first recipient, Corey Wasenden from Hillmore, Maryland, is an Army veteran, father of 5, originally from Newport News, Virginia. With this vehicle, Corey and his family will have reliable transportation that fits his family, allowing them to explore Maryland and spend more time together. This car will greatly improve their quality of life and bring them opportunities for family connection and stability. Handing Mr. Wasenden the keys to his car are representatives of CFG Bank, Eric Howard, president of CFG Bank, and his colleagues, and Air Force veteran Drew Allen and Nicole Dunn. As a psychiatric rehabilitation program caseworker, Sylvester travels long distances each day to help other people. With this vehicle, his daily commute, listen to this, will go from 6 hours down to 20 minutes. How's that for a time saver? Allowing him to dedicate more time to family and more time to community. Having reliable transportation also means Sylvester can spend more time with his 2 daughters and 7 grandchildren. Sylvester is deeply grateful and looks forward to the day that he can pay this forward. Handing Mr. Palmer the keys to his car is Joe Schwab. Joe's the district operations manager for Dent Wizard and really helped us get these 10 cars together today. We're thankful to Dent Wizard for donating their time to complete the body work and reconditioning on all these vehicles, and for providing lunch today after the event. Receiving this vehicle will provide Eugene with reliable transportation thankful for this life-changing gift, which will bring him stability and renewed self-sufficiency. Handing Eugene the keys to her car is AJ Lee, veteran and supporter of Vehicles for Change. Okay, number 4. We almost heard from Daniel just a few minutes ago. Daniel Ray Whitaker from Perry Point, Maryland, a U.S. Marine Corps veteran, father of 2 teenage daughters. Daniel's currently living in veteran housing while working towards his independence. Receiving this vehicle will allow Daniel to travel to and from work. More importantly, it will enable him to visit his 2 daughters in Virginia, bringing him hope, connection, and renewed purpose. Presenting Mr. Whitaker with his keys, Secretary of Veteran Affairs, we heard from our leader also, Colonel Ed Rolstein. Receiving this vehicle will provide Byron with the opportunity to secure a stable employment and better support his family. Reliable transportation will also allow him to visit with his 4 children who live out of state and strengthen that very important connection. For Byron, this vehicle represents stability, independence, and a fresh start towards a brighter future. Handing Mr. Branch the keys to his car is Marlene Bryan, retired Army Colonel, currently with Parker Bank.
All right. Our 6th recipient today is Marine Corps veteran Milton Williams, originally from New York City, now resides in Perry Point, Maryland. Receiving this vehicle will greatly improve his quality of life by making it easier for him to run errands, to get to the doctor's appointments. With reliable transportation, Milton will no longer have to rely on rapid transit or VA shuttle. As a father of 2, this vehicle will bring him greater independence and make day-to-day life more manageable. Handling Mr. Williams the keys to his car is Joseph Knott, Senior Analyst at Constellation Energy and a current member of the Maryland Army National Guard. I would also like to mention that in a partnership with Constellation Energy, we will be awarding 3 cars in Chicago at the end of this month, so we're excited about that partnership. Thank you, Constellation Energy, for your partnership. Our 7th recipient, Troy Lee, is an Army veteran, originally from West Borough, Pennsylvania, and now resides in Perry Point, Maryland. Receiving this car will allow him to visit family more often, give back to others in need. He has a 32-year-old son and deeply values the independence this vehicle provides. To Troy, this car is a blessing that empowers him to be self-reliant, present for others, and an active community member of his community. Handing the keys to Mr. Lee is a very important family members of mine. Jeff Haller, current Navy Lieutenant Colonel, and my daughter Jamie Haller, Navy retired, and my granddaughter, future Admiral Joe. Joseph Ricks is an Army veteran living in Baltimore City and works a 24-hour on-call job. I don't know how you do that without reliable transportation, catching multiple buses to get to work at one time, of course, has been a bigger challenge. In addition, Joseph has 2 daughters he struggles to see regularly. You kind of hear this, we hear this all the time about how a car is so important to be able to spend time with children. So great to hear again. Receiving this car means he can spend more time with his family, get to work and appointments more efficiently, visit the gym, all right, and gently improve his overall quality of life. Handing Mr. Ricks the keys to his car is Corporal William Posey, an unbelievable rendition of our national anthem. Air Force veteran Katrina is originally from Georgetown, South Carolina, now resides in Baltimore City. Reliable transportation will make a tremendous difference in her life, allowing her to get to work, her children's school, the market, doctor's appointments, without the high cost of ride sharing, without having to pay for Uber every time you need to go somewhere, and the challenges of unreliable public transportation. The first place she has to go is Weather's Farm, where she will take her kids for apples, cider, donuts, and slush. Katrina is deeply grateful for this gift, saying it's a true blessing that will change her life for the better. Our key handler with this movement is our Senator Shelley. Our final recipient, Xavier Travers from Cecil County, is a Navy veteran raised in Prince George's County, overcoming homelessness and securing stable housing. This car represents a final step toward rebuilding his life. It will also allow him to visit his family more often. Handing the keys, Mr. Travis is Nathan Lindstrom, Assistant General Manager of Central Atlantic Toyota, and John Holliday, General Manager of Heritage Toyota. Now, the tradition that we have here, we have for years, is we will ask all of our car recipients to get into their car, and we will count to 3, and then we'll start their engines. So, if we all get in your cars.
Michael.